Welcome to another edition of the Goalpost. I'm your host, Oluwamayowa. I'm not alone. I have Solomon making a return. I don't know whether he's happy or he's a bit, he's a bit, a bit sad with the result of Arsenal. I know I saw his video on TikTok that he was talking about Arsenal being robbed. A lot of people feel that penalty was a soft call. But in any case, we'll
Yeah.
get into it. Solomon, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Mayo. I'm very well this morning. Quite a number of emotions concerning the match, but as you said, we'll definitely get into it as we progress.
Okay, that's fantastic. Let's start on the local scene. From the local scene, the AFCON was supposed to have come. The WAFCON was supposed to have come and gone, and probably would have know whether our Super Falcons have decided to increase the number of titles to 11, or maybe they will
Sure.
still remain at 10. However, one of the players, Nadoze, our superlative goalkeeper, has been calling out CAF. The tournament was supposed to be scheduled between 17th March and 3rd of April, but initial doubts arose after word spread that South Africa would host the competition instead of Morocco. However, all preparation had to be halted after CAF officially announced on their website that the tournament had been shifted. Quoting Nadoze now, we the players are not happy about it. We the players are not happy about it. We don't know the reason behind it. We're all prepared. We left our clubs hoping to go to the WAFCON. I know the fans are angry. The people are angry. It's frustrating for me too because some of my family members are already got their ticket and some already applied for a visa. I mean, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
You know, Mr. Mayo, it has gotten to a point where it feels as though every time we talk about African football and Nigerian football on the show, it's just all about negativity and negativity and negativity. I can't remember the last time we had a talk about the African situation or the Nigerian situation and it's something positive. It's worrisome. It's worrisome. You don't see other continents do things like this, and you want to begin to wonder where exactly did we get it wrong as a continent, especially under Patrick Motsepe, I believe that's his name, the
Yes,
CAF
the CAF
president.
president. Yes.
So many things have gone wrong. So many things, especially as we can now see if the two major tournaments that are played in the continent, you can't even get things right. For the two major tournaments, I'm talking about the men's African Cup of Nations and now the WAFCON, right? It's highly disappointing, and of course, Nnadozie has every right to be able to express how she feels about it. They are the ones right at the forefront. They are the ones feeling every
The
of the
hate.
brunt of the decision that is being made. Right now, the competition has been moved to I think July, late July, right? And again, as we said, it's worrisome. As at February, I think the second week into the third week of February, CAF president came out to say, oh, okay, yes, the competition will continue, the competition is going to progress. You obviously have given the countries the reassurance that the competition was going to continue, only for you to come in the first week of March and say that, oh, okay, this is not going to progress anymore. Now, yes, where it gets even worse. Not only did you make that announcement, there was no official statement as to why that competition has been postponed. The only thing we hear, which is just word salad, in my opinion, is where you say we have circumstances beyond our control. Welcome, Collins. Say we have
Okay.
circumstance beyond our control. That is, I don't know, that is just somebody trying as much as possible to evade accountability. And that's one thing we do not have. As a continent, as a nation, we do not have leaders who are accountable. And because we don't have people who are accountable, they believe that they can do whatever they want and they can get away with it. Now, this is not to say that there are not exactly obviously circumstances that can be beyond your reach, but this is why you have ample time to prepare for these things. Again, just as we said about the Nigerian situation as regards the pension and whatnot, if you cannot handle it, create a subsidiary body that can handle it, and they report to you as the head. These things is not, see, this is not rocket science. Give someone who is a project manager who can handle events of this magnitude and allow them to, you know what, to carry out this project in that manner. You do not, it does not even affect you. All you need to do is, okay, make an official announcement, we are partnering with this particular body, or we have set up a 10-man committee or whatnot to look into the affairs of the tournament, see how they can come up with the event and whatnot, and then they report back to you. If you feel like the responsibility that you are taking on is a lot, one of the hallmarks of a great leader is delegation. Delegate these things to people who can get it done. You don't necessarily even have to be at the forefront. Meanwhile, you will still get the credit. That's the funny thing. You will still get the credit for the job done. So, as Nnadozie, as I've said, has every right to call them out, because she was at the forefront. There's so much money that has gone into it. South Africa had even put out their kits. You know, they had put out their kits. Teams have planned their calendars, and then you now come out. Where in every name is that done? How exactly do you now want them to progress afterwards? All of the training sessions, all of the team talks, all of the preparations, you now expect them to go back to their countries and then come back again in July. It takes a toll on people. It takes
Is
a
it
toll on people.
is the
We need to
July
get it
is the
done.
July even certain?
That's another thing.
Is
That's
the
another
July even
thing.
certain?
Because
Because I mean,
the
the July is not
credibility,
certain.
exactly, the credibility of the federation is being called into question now. The credibility of the federation has been called into question. If, especially after what happened with the men's African Cup of Nations, you still cannot go on to do something right, and then again you are now adding this one to it. There's so much to be to question, right? There's so much to question, and as I said, we just need people who are accountable. If you cannot get it done, delegate. Create a 10-man committee, create a 15-man committee from different countries all over the continent. Allow them be the ones to take on these events. It is well with Africa. I wanted to say Nigeria, but Africa alone. It is well with them.
Okay, Collins is here. Collins, I mean, Solomon has said a whole lot. You saw the news. Nnadozie is calling out CAF. CAF has been inconsistent with what they are doing. And for me, and I want to add more context to this, I think it was more of CAF caving to Morocco, because Morocco was supposed to host that competition, but the moment the AFCON final did not go their way, that was when they started making an excuse. Do you think CAF is an hostage of Morocco, because Morocco said they are not hosting and we don't have a competition?
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Mr. Solomon. Good morning, Mr. Myra.
Good morning.
I feel it's two things two truths can exist in this case, right? Back then they've not handed Morocco the trophy. You understand? They've not done the investigation and whatever. They overturned the decision from Senegal to Morocco. They gave um I guess
Yeah,
hear me.
yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. CAS reverse the decision.
Yes. So when they postponed it, then they've not given Morocco the trophy. But now they have given them the trophy. You understand? You expect if that's the case, you expect a more how should I put it? You expect them to comply now. You understand? But I feel like, why that's the possibility? You understand? There are also real problems in play here. You understand? I remember we've talked about this particular issue before, and this is when they say, yeah, I was reading the reason. I was saying poor preparation, poor planning, things are not put in place. They want to make sure that the conditions are perfect before they can start the competition. And honestly, those are valid reasons. Knowing Africa, knowing knowing the competition we're dealing with here, you understand, that's a possibility. You understand, Africa as a whole, when it comes to organizing things, we're a mess. You understand? That's why only few countries in the footballing world in Africa can boast of good infrastructures, can boast of good stadiums, can boast of good press, can boast of good sports coverage. You understand? And just few, and the rest are nothing to write home about. You understand? So that is a valid reason. You understand? Poor preparation, things are not put in place. But again, you look at it. This is Morocco we are talking about. Morocco is not any African country. You understand? When it comes to, can you
Yeah,
hear
go
me?
ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you. We can hear you clearly. We can hear you. We can hear
If my
you.
network is lagging.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. Morocco is not. They are not a small country when it comes to development. When it comes to civilization, they are up there. You understand? I will call them the greatest African country when it comes to all of that. You understand? So that doesn't sound right. You understand? Because clearly the players are ready. Clearly the players are ready. Journalists have flew to Morocco ready for the whole coverage and everything. The press, everybody is ready. Everybody is ready. You understand? You can count how many players have come out to complain. It's not just Nadozie. You understand? Rashidat Ajibade have complained. Sinis, what's her name? That's the German defender. I've forgotten Ashley something. She has complained too.
Plum tree.
You understand? Yeah, South African coach have complained. So you can see that all this everywhere, everybody are ready. You understand? But they are giving us the excuse that the stadium is this, preparations and all that, and preparations and this. You understand? If it was a country like Nigeria that was hosting and they complained about this, I would believe. I would say yes, that's the case. But this is Morocco we're talking about, and it's just funny that this is the same time that we now had the controversy of the AFCON final, and you're angry with the whole world. What are the odds that they are aligned? You understand? So I'm not going to sit here and say that's the case, but that's a possibility. You understand? The fact that things are not being put in place is also a possibility. You understand? And now it's not looking like women's sport is they are not taking women's sport lightly. You understand? It's looking like there's a conspiracy when it comes to women's sport, this, that, this, that, this, that. You understand? Because these players went to social media and they were saying like women's sport should be treated better, women players, this kind of things when it comes to equality in sports, you understand? I follow basketball, you understand? And I can tell you for a fact that when it comes to WNBA and the NBA, if sometimes if you see some takes, you know, they don't end the pay is very 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 different. Like the gap is not here. It was just recently this season that they improved their pay. You understand? Because they wanted to go on strike. You understand? They wanted to go on strike, CBA talks and everything. They resolved it, and now you can see players earning $5 million, $1 million. It was not like that before. You understand? So this is something that is everywhere, and that's this. I'm also saying this can be a reason too. You understand? I mentioned three things now. This can be a reason too. The fact that women's sports is not being respected, is being trashed, is being berated and everything. You understand? That's also a reason. You understand? So we don't know for a fact that a certain thing is the problem. This is the problem. That is the problem. It's what they tell us we take. You understand? We can make up our own conspiracies and theories and everything, but nobody knows the true story yet. But the official story now is that infrastructures, things were not being put in place. There is no proper planning, things like that. And honestly, that makes sense. You understand? But we as fans, we are looking at other things that could be the issue. You understand? And that's fine. But I feel like moving forward, these women should be treated better. Women's sport should be valued. Should be respected. You understand? The way we respect men's sport, the way we watch, the way we treat them right, we pay them well, we do everything for them. Same thing should apply to the women's sport. You understand? Because I mentioned the WNBA earlier. I don't think I've watched any women's game as much as I've watched the WNBA, and I tell you for a fact that when it comes to basketball, the women's are as good as the men. You understand? The women are as good as the men. You understand? So it's the respect should be shared equally. You understand? That's what I want to hit on. That's what I want to hit on. As for the conspiracy theories, honestly, I'm not going to say much about that. Just going to say what I'm just going to say what I think I know. Thank you.
Okay, that